All right, here are solutions to quiz 4. Let's see, we're given a graph of h of x, that's this guy right here, and asked to find h of 3. So what that's saying is when you put 3 in as x into this function, what comes out? So your x value, 1, 2, 3 right here, when x equals 3. The height up here looks like is 4. So h of 3 equals 4. This height at this point right here, when x equals 3, is 4. Find all values of x so that h of x equals 3. Okay, so this is kind of the backwards of this question. Now I'm saying, what would you have to put in for the height to be equal to 3? So the way you get that is you say, all right, the height's equal to 3 right here. Looks like that happens here, here, and here. So those are at x values of -3, +2, and +4. So x equals -3, 2, and 4. Sure, I guess that's good enough. Express the domain of h of x using interval notation. All right, so the domain, you can kind of think of, the domain is all the x values that you can put into this function and have something come out of it. In other words, all x values that have a height associated with them. So it's everything from -3 up to +4 here, right? Because the height at -3 is right here. You can kind of think of it as the shadow down here onto the x-axis. All of these points have a height. So the domain is everything from -3 to +4. So using interval notation, so I'll write it like this. Key point here is these are both brackets, not parentheses, meaning we want to include the endpoints. We want to include -3 and +4 in our solution, because -3 and +4 both have heights. The dots at the end here were closed, not opened. So it's kind of important. And finally, the range. Range is kind of similar to the domain. Now it's asking what possible heights can come out of this function. And so now instead of the shadow onto the x-axis, it's kind of the shadow onto the y-axis. So everything from -1 to 4 can come out. -1 comes out when you put 0 into it. 4 comes out when you put 3 into it. And there's something you can put in for every height in between. So our range is everything from -1 to 4, and we want to include those endpoints as well, because they're in the range. There are things you can put in to make those come out. And I guess that is it. Not really a whole lot of work you can show here. Maybe you can shade a picture or something, or just talk your way through the answers. But I guess that's it. I guess that's the solutions to this quiz. All right.